Hi there and welcome back to my channel, the best place to build a life and business you love, simply because you can. Now, in this video, we're going to be talking about the third part in the 4-part series of business secrets from the book of Ruth. Now, in video number 1, I shared with you all of the golden nuggets from chapter 1. In video number 2, I shared with you all of the golden nuggets from chapter 2. And in this video, right here, right now, I'm going to be sharing with you all of the golden nuggets that I was able to squeeze out of chapter 3. Now, if you haven't watched those first 2 videos, I'm going to be linking them in the description box below. So make sure you go and watch them. You don't want to miss any of the golden nuggets that I have for you. Now let's get straight into it. Now in chapter 3 it continues, right? In chapter 3 it continues, and one of the first lesson that I was able to get from chapter 3, if you see me looking down, I'm looking at my notes. I do not want to skip a bit for you guys. Okay, now in chapter 3 it talks about Naomi then decides. Naomi now is Ruth and Naomi have been living together. Now, Naomi sort of becomes a coach, right? And devises a strategy. So that is tip number 1. Have a coach or a mentor that can help you devise a strategy to move you forward, right? Now, Naomi decides, takes one look at Ruth and she's like, you know what? In chapter 3, I want to try and find a home for you, right? That's what Naomi said. And she gives her the instruction. She says, wash your body, put perfume on yourself, and put on your best clothes. That's what Naomi says to Ruth. Then go down to the threshing floor, but do not let him know do not let Boaz know you're there until he has finished eating and drinking. So this is Naomi strategizing with Ruth and trying to move Ruth forward into her purpose and into her destiny. Lesson here is, aspiring entrepreneurs who are just starting out in business, even if you've been in business a long time, it is always a good idea to have a coach or mentor who can help you with a solid plan and a solid strategy on how to execute, and so that you can find purpose and you can find your entrepreneurial calling executed with ease and tact, right? It's always better to find people who have been there before you to share your plans and your ideas with, so that they can help you devise a meaningful strategy. Tip number 2. Ruth answers, I will do whatever you say. Always listen. Like, if you have paid a coach or a mentor, right, for advice, take the advice. Now, I'm not saying if it doesn't align with your business or your calling, you have to take it. But what I find most times, and I also have been guilty of this, we'll pay a coach and a mentor, and when they give us the advice, sometimes we're like, it's too simple. It doesn't have to be like this. It's too simple. I'm expecting something more complex. I can't believe she's just telling me to go do ABC. No, it's not going to work, without even trying. But this number 2 lesson from the book of Ruth, Ruth just says to Naomi, I will do whatever you say. I will do as you say. So if we have solicited advice from a coach or a mentor that we look up to, who has been where we're trying to go, and they tell us to do this, ABC, if it doesn't align, you may probe further and ask why. But even if it's simple, do not dismiss the advice because it's too simple, right? Sometimes simplicity gives us the best results, right? So when you have paid a coach or mentor, if you follow somebody, you aspire to somebody, and they give you a piece of advice, implement that advice. Do exactly as you're told so that you can get the result that you want. Now, tip number 3. Keep your dignity. Keep your dignity, right? And here we can see in chapter 10, the Lord bless you, my daughter. This kindness is greater than what you showed me earlier. You've not run after young men, whether rich or poor. And now, my daughter, don't be afraid. I'll do for you all you ask. So this is fast forward to where she lays down at Boaz's feet, and he's talking to her. He says, look, you're so blessed. You've not run after men. You've kept yourself. And this just reinforces, as women, we need to keep our dignity intact. We need to keep our integrity intact. As business people, there is no get rich quick anything. We need to let our word be our word. Let our dignity be intact. Let our integrity be intact. Let's just have values that underpin the business that we're building according to what the Lord has laid on your heart. So that is principle number 3. Principle number 4 that I also got out from this chapter is Naomi believed in the strategy. Naomi believed. So Naomi is the coach here. So Ruth has gone and does exactly what she's told her to do. Then she comes back to Naomi, right? And she says, how did it go? And then Ruth tells her everything Boaz did and says, oh, he gave me, food. He gave me more food. He gave me more resources. But remember that when Naomi first of all devises the strategy, you need to go and read it for yourself. So it's Ruth chapter 3. Just read the whole chapter. I don't want to read it in this video, so this video doesn't become too long, right? Now, in this chapter, we see that Naomi devises a strategy and she tells Ruth exactly what is going to happen. She doesn't tell her the full picture. She just says, you know what? Wash your body, put on perfume, go to the threshing floor, wait until Boaz is finished eating, lay at his feet, and just stay there. And you will see, he will tell you what to do. That's what she says. Now, Ruth replies, I will do whatever you say. She went down and she did everything her mother-in-law had told her to do. She did everything. And then when Boaz had finished eating, he was in good spirits. He went to lie down at the far end of the grain. Ruth approached quietly and she lay down beside him, right? And then when he woke up, he discovered her, right? And then he says, I'm your servant Ruth. And that is where Boaz starts to tell her, oh, you're a woman of dignity, you're a woman of honor. You've not messed up yourself running after young men, right? So she laid there till morning. Now, Boaz says to her, do not let it be known that a woman came to the threshing floor, okay? Bring me a shawl and cover yourself. And then he gave her more food. Now, when she goes back home, he says, look, he just gave me more food. Clearly, Naomi was not expecting food. Food was not the end result. She had a greater plan ahead that she had not told Ruth about, right? And then when she went there, she says, he gave me food. What does Naomi say? Naomi says, wait until you find out what happens. That's what Naomi tells Ruth. Wait until you find out what happens, because this man would not rest until the matter is settled today. So Naomi believed in her strategy. Even though Ruth had not seen the results that Naomi, the strategist, had envisioned, when Ruth came back with the report, she says, wait, be patient. You will see the results. Now, how does it apply to us as business owners, as coaches, as entrepreneurs who want to build a life and business that we love? When you are working with a coach or a mentor that has given you a strategy, you may not see the results immediately. You may not see the results in 1 week, 1 month, 3 months. But if we stay persistent, we go back to the coach and we say, okay, this is the feedback. I implemented what you told me. This is the feedback I brought back to you. You will see that the person who's strategizing with you knows exactly what they're doing. Otherwise, why did you pay them? Right? Why have you paid them? You trust that it can get you the results. That's why. So when you try out a particular strategy and the result has not yet come, do not give up. Do not say, oh, this coach is this, it doesn't work. Don't say that. Keep on pushing. In my case, when I first started 2 years ago, three years ago now, when I started, I remember the first program I bought online and I tried to implement it and the results were not coming. I gave up and I'm like, oh, this doesn't work. But guess what? 2 years down the line, those strategies work. It's just that the problem I see with most coaches, and we all need to be mindful of this, is to set the right expectation. Sometimes we set expectations that make people think, oh, once I implement this strategy, I'm going to get rich so quickly, without setting the expectation that this is not that the strategies don't work. Number one, it may not work for the phase that they're currently in now. Number two, they may not be patient enough to see it actually work. So, note to self and note to other coaches out there, we have the responsibility to market our services with integrity so that people do not get the wrong ideas thinking when we give them this advice is, if it doesn't work in a month, in 2 months, then it doesn't work. Because most times, great things take time. Great things take time to build. I'm sure I didn't get to where I am now overnight. No, it takes time. It was a journey of highs and lows and, dips and, tops that have gotten me to where I am now. And I'm still not there yet. I'm not even close to where I envision myself to be, right? So for the coaches that are, getting mentors or aspiring entrepreneurs who are looking for help to move themselves and their businesses forward, you need to give things time. Things take time. Okay, things take time. In Naomi's case, we can see that she told her because she believed in her strategy. And as a coach, if you believe in your strategy, you have to keep at it until you see the results that you envision. Now, that's it for this video. Let me know in the comments below. Which of these strategies will you be implementing or have you implemented in your business or your life? Let me know in the comments below. I would love to have the conversation with you. Continue in the comments down below. And remember, if you haven't watched the first 2 videos in this 4-part series, I will link them in the description below so that you can get all caught up. I don't want you to miss anything, okay? And remember to follow me on my social media channels at Owolabi, VICTOWOLABI on Facebook and Instagram. And as always, I'll see you in my next video. Ciao, ciao.